In the forsaken village of Ravensbrook, where the fog never lifted and the night seemed eternal, Sarah Miller moved into a decrepit old house she inherited from a distant aunt she never knew. From the moment she arrived, she felt a chill seeping into her bones, a prelude to the horrors that awaited. The villagers gave her wary glances and whispered among themselves but dared not approach the house that stood on the edge of the dark woods. Sarah, an artist looking for solitude, dismissed their superstitions. The house was silent, save for the occasional creak of old floorboards and the soft rustle of leaves against cracked windows. But as the days turned into weeks, an uneasy feeling gnawed at her, a sensation of being watched. One stormy night, as the rain pounded against the roof and thunder rumbled in the distance, she heard it, a whisper. At first, it was so faint she thought it was the wind, but as she strained her ears, the whispers grew clearer. They echoed through the dark hallways, calling her by name, beckoning her to the basement. With a heart pounding like a war drum, Sarah grabbed a flashlight and followed the voices. The basement door creaked open, revealing stairs that plunged into impenetrable darkness. With each step, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. At the bottom, she found a room filled with old paintings, all depicting her aunt in various stages of madness. At the center of the room stood an easel, holding an unfinished portrait. It was of Sarah. As she approached the painting, a sudden cold grip seized her arm. She turned to find herself face to face with a shadowy figure, its eyes hollow and its mouth twisted into a sinister grin. The whispers intensified, now a cacophony of voices screaming in her mind. The figure raised a skeletal hand and pointed to the portrait. In horror, Sarah watched as her own face contorted in the painting, mirroring the madness of her aunt's. She tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. The figure leaned in close, its breath icy against her skin. "You are part of us now," it hissed. "Forever." Sarah's vision blurred, and she felt herself being pulled into the painting, her body merging with the canvas. The last thing she saw was the shadowy figure stepping into the light, its form shifting to resemble her. The whispers ceased, and the house fell silent once more. Weeks later, the villagers noticed a change in the house at the edge of the woods. Sarah Miller, they claimed, had become reclusive, seldom seen but often heard whispering to herself. The paintings she produced now were dark, twisted depictions of torment and despair. And at night, if one stood close enough, they could hear whispers coming from the basement, calling out to anyone who dared to listen.